Broadcasting live worldwide.
98.7 Red Dirt Rebel, Oklahoma's home for Red Dirt. We have another exclusive interview for you, and it is with Randy Seymour. We're going to talk about looking back and also his future touring plans and future album plans and a whole lot more here in just a moment. And it's going to be all brought to you by the following sponsors: Cattleman's Bank, member FDIC, in Altus, Oklahoma; Billingsley Ford Lincoln Service Department on the corner of Quanah Parker Trailway in Lawton, Oklahoma. Make sure that you get your vehicle in tip-top shape for the winter months. We are in the burr months, folks, and old man winter will be here before you know it, and you don't want to be stranded on the side of the road. No matter if it's tires, tune-ups, Billingsley Ford Lincoln Service Department has you covered on the corner of Quanah Parker Trailway in Lawton, Oklahoma at 82nd Street. Top Branch Tree Service, like them today on Facebook, but better yet, give Jordan Creer a call. He is a professional, insured and bonded for that extra peace of mind to take care of your trees, give you the consultation on what you need to keep those trees healthy as the burr months continue to roll on. And you know that the wind's going to be howling during the winter months, and you don't want your trees damaged on your property and or business. Jordan Creer can take care of you. Give him a call today, 785-375-2023. That number again is 785-375-2023. You'll be glad you did. Western Oklahoma State College, it is a smart start. No matter if you are beginning your academic career in college or if you are picking up classes to add to your career, to enhance what you do for a living, or if you're just going back to college so you can get that degree, Western can help you do that and more. So for more information on sports, academics, and more, log on to www.wosc.edu. Hey, Randy, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to me this afternoon. How you doing, buddy?
Well, how you guys doing up there in Altus, Oklahoma? It's Randy Seymour here, and I'm just glad to be on the show today. And it's a pleasure talking to somebody in Altus, because I used to actually play in a show in Nashville years and years ago with a guy from Altus. Actually, two different guys from Altus. One guy, his name was Joey Click. He used to play bass for me a lot.
Yeah, I know Joey.
He ended up playing for, Trace Atkins and different people like that, and also Josh Turner for a long time. He and I we got a lot of running jokes because we've been around each other so much. Then there's another guy that when I first came to Nashville, I played shows with him out at Opryland Park. His name was Danny Gregg.
Okay.
And yeah, Danny and his brother Paul is in Restless Heart. And Danny told me all about going to high school in Altus and the coaches and all this kind of stuff. So Danny and I go way back. Our first year in Nashville, we both got to be on the Grand Ole Opry on separate occasions, but we both got to appear on the Grand Ole Opry. So I'm a big fan of Altus.
Okay. Well, you know what? Congratulations, Randy. That is an absolute first that, I've had the opportunity and pleasure to talk to somebody that knows the area. I mean, because normally times, I talk to people mostly from Texas or the surrounding states, but it's really cool that Joey Click and some other folks that have paved the way musically here at Altus, because a lot of folks come through here. And I know still a few cats that come through every once in a while, but it's really cool to see how small our world is.
Yeah, well, that makes it real small, believe me. When I saw that you guys were basically on the Texas radio airplay list and everything, and started to solicit you guys, I thought, boy, I hope I get played in Altus, because me and Altus, we've got a thing that going on here, and I even talked to Joey, and I said, man, my record's getting played in Altus. You need to listen. He says, I will, so.
Well,
anyway,
thank you for the fans.
Neat.
Well, thank you for getting them on board. And hey, the more people that know about Oklahoma's home for Red Dirt, the better. Our call signs is out of Hobart, but yeah, I'm stationed in Altus, but pretty much I can go anywhere pretty much in the world with the good old laptop and the way technology works these days, and I can make sure that good old music is being spun. And And yes, it's a good thing that we are hooked up with the Texas Music Association of folks. They're real good to artists of the independent nature and the singer-songwriters and the true grit and the Texas country and the red dirt. I mean, they're really good to you folks, and we're glad to be a part of it, Randy. And let me tell you, the song that we're going to be listening to here before too long, I really enjoy the song Looking Back. I started playing it a while back, but it's kind of like the official debut of it. But, sir, you got yourself some good stuff going on there, buddy.
Thank you. Let me just give you a little background as kind of how I got here for people who might be listening today. I grew up in a little place called Humble, Texas, and started playing music a little bit here and there. And the only reason I kept after playing music is because I wasn't any good at playing football. So I started taking it a little seriously when I was writing songs. And so my folks got behind me because they liked what I was doing. And my dad had a friend that he went to high school with in Memphis, Tennessee. They both played football together. My dad was a big football player in Tennessee. And this guy, he wasn't much good. He was probably like me, probably a third stringer. But he looked up to my dad, and his name was Archie Yancey. And he became a radio personality in Houston, Texas, which is about 25 miles from Humble. So my dad called Arch up, and Arch said he'd be happy to help me. And the next thing you know, Arch is helping me get in the studio and make a record. And then we printed up some records, and I'm still in high school now. And I'm going around getting records played in Texas, and I'm getting Houston airplay. So the coolest thing that I got to do with Arch, though, was he had a regular spot at Gilley's nightclub in Pasadena, Texas. So I would go out every Thursday night, and I would play, with the band. I'd play a few songs at Gilley's nightclub. So that was pretty neat, being out there at that age. But I wasn't really sure that I wanted to stay in Houston. The music business was really in Nashville and in Tennessee. So I ended up making the jump to Nashville, and I worked up there. And like I said earlier, I worked at a place called Opryland Park, and one of the other guys in the show was a guy named Danny Gregg, and Danny is from Altus, as well as his brother Paul. He's got another brother or two there. They're all from Altus. And anyway, Danny and I got to be fast friends because, when you're from Oklahoma and Texas, you kind of get each other. We sort of all kind of get each other in this whole deal. I've got a line in one of my songs that I wrote years ago, and I played it for Joey Click, who's a friend of mine from Altus. And the line is, I like cowboys, the ones who can ride. And he said, unless you're from where we're from, you don't even understand what that line means. I said, yeah, the ones who know actually how to ride and rope and all that stuff. Those are real cowboys. So,
yes, sir.
So anyway, I spent a lot of time in Nashville. I got to do a lot of stuff that I never dreamed I'd get to do. And mostly in Nashville, when you live there, if you're working, you're leaving there a lot. So I left there a lot, and I went to go see a lot of things. Played several really big shows, throughout my stay in Nashville. Like I said, I played on the Opry twice. I did the Ernest Tubb Midnight Jamboree. I did a fairly big appearance with a guy named Bruce Springsteen in 2001 for a show, and I was basically with some guys who were representing musicians and artists from Tennessee. We were doing some rockabilly music, and so that was kind of a fun thing. I've been all over the world a couple of times and done stuff, but there was always something kind of missing in what I was doing in Nashville. And no slight to Nashville and the way that they do things, but I seemed a little out of step. Okay. And I finally moved back to Texas with my wife a couple of years ago and started doing my music here. And I really found out what was out and what was missing. What was missing was being back here in this area where I was familiar with things. And like I said, when I talked to my buddy Joey and played him that line about cowboys, where, hey, we get it. We kind of have a thing. Whether we realize it or not, we have our own culture here in the Texas and Oklahoma, and sort of the middle, or what I call the east of the West.
Yes,
because we're where the Great West actually starts. Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and all that.
Yes,
this is where the West starts.
Yes, it
so
is.
We even Missouri a little bit, but what I'm saying is when I came back to Texas, I moved to a little town called Lufkin, which is a couple of hours north of Houston here in East Texas. And it just reminded me of being home. And it kind of sparked me to make more music and start pushing forward. And I had written this Lukenbach thing and recorded it. I didn't really know what to do with it. I played it for a show that I did earlier this year down in Belton, Texas. And these two guys who were running the show were both prominent disc jockeys, and they said, well, when's that coming out? I said, well, I don't know. I said, I just played it because Nash over there said he really liked going to Lukenbach, so I thought I'd surprise him and play him a song about it. They said, no, you got to put that out. That's got to get out. I said, we'll play that. That'll get played. So, between you and me and anyone who's listening, when you're a musician and you're an artist, you don't often get an open invitation for you to release a piece of material and get it out there on the promise that it's liked well enough and it stands up well enough that they're going to put it in their playlist. So I decided to move forward and go ahead and put the record out, but I needed to put an album around it so there would be more to what was going on. So I have a lot of songs that ended up on this album, which is also called Lukenbach. And I sort of call them my orphans because they're songs that I've recorded over the years. A couple of them I recorded down in Memphis, Tennessee at Sun Records. I've recorded some of them in Muscle Shoals, Alabama. Of course, I recorded a few here in Texas. I recorded a few in Nashville. So it's kind of all over the map, but they never all belonged in one project until I recorded Lukenbach. And I thought, okay, now I know where these songs that sort of are like a bunch of wandering nomads, where they need to end up. So they all ended up on this collection. And the album is called Lukenbach. It's a 9-song selection. And, of course, the lead-off track and the single is Lukenbach. Now, for anybody who's listening and hadn't heard the song, this is not Lukenbach, Texas, the Back to the Basics of Love, which is a Waylon Jennings famous song, which I've always loved. This is a different kind of take on it. And I wrote it because me and my wife were over in San Antonio, Texas. I was doing a show, a weekend show, a few years ago. And I said, I had a day off, and I said, hey, you want to go out to Lukenbach, Texas? She goes, is that a real place? I said, yeah, it's a real place. She says, oh, I thought it was just something somebody made up for a song. I said, no, it's a real place. So we went out there, and it was kind of slow. It was kind of off day, which she loved, and I loved it too, because it was really neat. It's kind of in its own kind of zone. So that kind of rolled around in my head with a few other things. And next thing you know, I'm singing this song at the breakfast table for her, and she goes, hey, this song's about us. I said, yeah, it's about us.
Well,
so
see,
that's the story of the song.
That's some good stuff right there. But hey, Randy, that's a good segue. See, you knew where this was going to land to. So what we're going to do, buddy, we're going to take a break real quick, and then we're going to spin Lukenbach, because people now, you got them excited now to hear the song. So it's a perfect segue. So we're going to take a couple minutes, pay a couple bills, and Randy will be right back, and we'll talk about what you got coming up for our shows and work in studio. How about that?
Fantastic.
All right, well, you're listening to 98.7 Red Dirt Rebel, Oklahoma's home for Red Dirt, and you can now get us and Bluetooth us on Apple CarPlay and take us anywhere that you are. We'll be right back. Oklahoma barbecue at its finest is Earl's Rib Palace. 26 years and still smoking, can provide you with the quality barbecue that you need for your event. Whether it be the big game, whether it be a board meeting, or just a gathering of friends and family, we can take care of your catering needs, 10 or more. Find out how at earlsribpalace.com.
Hi, this is Texas music artist Randy C. Moore. You're listening to my friend Raven K on KHWL 98.7 FM.
We spent too many TikToks working the time clock, dead on our feet. Too many nights going to bed, just going to sleep. Ending the days like they begun, never dancing to the beat of the drum. Leaving me begging the questions I'm asking you now. Do you want to go to Lukenbach, wailing and wailing, feeling no pain? Or go walking up Drive Walking Road, make a little loving in the summer rain? Take another trip to Arizona, watching the sunrise over the mountain top. When you're in love, it doesn't take a lot, like you was going back to Lukenbach. Tropical beaches full of beautiful people working on tents, but people on top of other people are a traffic jam. Taking those selfies, waiting in line, telling their friends this is the life. I hope they never discover where we're going now. Do you want to go to Lukenbach, or wailing
And we're back with 98.7 Red Dirt Rebel exclusive interview with Randy C. Moore. You just listened to his iconic, see, Randy, I called it iconic single. Yes, iconic single, Luckenbach, from the self-titled album. Luckenbach is available anywhere music is sold and or streamed. Check it out. And of course, we're going to be spinning it a lot here at the Red Dirt Rebel. Hey, Randy, I know that you got some shows coming up, man. Tell us a little bit about the shows that are coming up and what your plans rolling into 23.
Well, right now, I've been working so hard on this all summer. We released this single actually all the way back on D-Day, which is June 6th. And it really started to appear on radio sometime in the charts and everything. It really started to show up in August. So we've been keeping this thing rolling along pretty good. As you well know, it's a full-time thing to get behind 3.5 minutes worth of song.
Yes, it is.
So that's what I've been doing. I'll probably have a single coming out for Christmas. I recorded a Christmas album, and it's been re-released for this year. And I got a single on there, and it's called There Ain't No Santa Claus. And the song is basically me telling people that I'm showing all the reasons why that I don't believe that there ain't no Santa Claus, because there is a Santa Claus. You know, I name all the stuff off and everything. So it's a fun little song. It's a rockin' little combo, one that my job can take. Check that out. That'll probably be landing sometime in November for all you guys out there in radio land, and especially for you, my friends. I got shows coming up here. I'll be playing a place basically next week. I'm going to be at a place called Back Porch, which is in Kilgore, Texas. That's a cool place. I like playing there. They got a nice stage, and it's a good place to showcase songs and play for folks. Then I'll be here in Lufkin at a place called 58 Junction, which is also a good music showcase place. So this happens on the 20th in Kilgore, and then the 21st here in Lufkin. Then I'm going to be down in my hometown of Humble, Texas on the 23rd at a place called Green Oaks Tavern, which is that's exactly what it is. It used to be the old jailhouse there in Humble on Main Street, and they turned it into a place where people can go drink. And I'm thinking, well, that's a good place to put people who like to drink. Just put them in jail already. You don't have to spend all the money to haul them anywhere. I'm going to be in Luckenbach playing my show on the 30th of October, which is a Sunday. I'll be on the stage out there all by my lonesome, just me, 1 to 5. So people, if you guys can make your way down to the hill country, come on down and see me down there in Luckenbach. So that's pretty much what's going on for October. I'll be doing some other shows. I've got some things here in East Texas that are going to be really a lot of fun. I'm doing a big Christmas show in Marshall, Texas on the 26th, which is day after Thanksgiving, or 2 days after Thanksgiving, I believe. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We'll be out in the square in beautiful downtown Marshall, Texas. So I'll be at the Pasadena Opry in Pasadena, Texas on November the 18th. And I don't even know where the heck this place is, but I know where Pasadena, Texas is. So like I said, I used to play at Gillies when I was a kid. So if I don't know how to get to Pasadena by now, then somebody just needs to basically just set me in front of a TV and give me a cocktail and say, okay, you just forget about this, okay? You're good.
it's like, you've done well. Just take a load off. Take a load off.
Yeah, exactly. You've done a man's work. Now sit down.
Exactly. Well, Randy, man, seems like you got a full plate, and like I said, don't be no stranger here to the Rebel, and I'll make sure that on more ways than one. And hopefully next year you get a little closer to us Okies, and I definitely want to. If it's within 4 hours, I'm gonna try to be there, because I like to be on the road. And hopefully I get to meet you in person real soon. And before I let you go, because I know you're a busy man, how can people get a hold of you so they can continue to keep up with what you're doing? And as the music continues to roll out, they can keep in the groove of things, my friend.
Well, my schedule and everything that has to do with anybody wanting to actually find out something is on my website. It's Randy C. Moore, RandyCMoore.com, Randy C. Moore. So they can get everything there. I've got music videos that I've done on some of my songs that are on there. The Luckenbach music videos on there. Also, if they want to go to the downloads, there's a page there where they can go to get to download the album, the songs. I also have actual compact disc for sale of every one of my collections.
Right on.
So I never thought I'd hear myself say this, but anybody who's got a compact disc player and is old school.
That's right.
You can order one of those. So, but my schedule's definitely on there. You can look up on my live shows to see where I'm at. Most of the time I have to look myself because I don't know where I'm at. So, as a matter of fact, if anybody out there looks it up and I don't know where I'm at, please call this station and have them get a hold of me to tell me where I'm supposed to be at.
Yes, and I'll be so glad to do so. By all means, I'll keep Randy on his schedule and make sure that he's playing the shows and stuff.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, but hey, Randy, thank you very much for taking the time to do this interview with me. And like I said, I look forward to many more conversations with you and catching a show soon. We'll do this again when you get some more music out, or you don't even have to have music out. We can just catch up and see what Randy C. Moore's doing this month type of segments. It's cool.
Yeah. Well, Raven, it's been a pleasure, and I hope the listeners have not been bored to death out there. And I'm definitely going to come to Altus and visit you, my friend. So,
all right, right on, buddy.
I'm telling you, Altus is on my bucket list. Ever since Danny Gregg started telling me about his high school coach, his name was Coach Brown. His name was Coach Brown, but he had a list, so he called himself Coach Brown. And he said, Coach Brown was our football coach, and he would have us in study hall. And he would say, now, students, you can study and you can do what you want to in this classroom. But if you take a nap on your desk, please don't slobber on the desk, because there's nothing worse than putting a sheet of paper down on a slobbery desk.
Yeah, I can agree with them on many levels, for sure. Yeah,
all right,
give me my can of Lysol, please.
Exactly.
Well, thank you, bud. And I'm telling you, we're gonna be playing Looking Back and anything else you got putting out here. And I look forward to the Christmas single as well. We'll make sure we'll get that in the rotation. You've been listening to Randy C. Moore, and I talk about pretty much how Randy is a staple here in Altus, Oklahoma. Can you believe it, folks? I love it. Make sure that you're checking out 98.7 Red Dirt Rebel on the App Store. Download the app today, Bluetooth us, and the Apple CarPlay, and take us everywhere that you are. We are Oklahoma's home for Red Dirt. 98.7 Red Dirt Rebel. We're getting back to some great music here at True Grit at noon.